well that we've created the ground floor, what we're going to do now is start to model our ground floor walls and ground floor plan. So as I mentioned before, we're working off the sheet I've uploaded in terms of the plans. So we're looking at the ground floor plan. So if you have this open in the background, because it'll help you with the dimensions and that kind of stuff. I'll put mine on my second screen as a reference point. So I will be referring back to this. If you have your ones open somewhere as well. So if you click on double click on ground floor, that's what we're going to be working on. Now, a couple of ways of doing this, okay? You can be quite precise to start with. Some people do like that. Another way I do it is I rough in where the lines, where all the walls should go, and then I precisely dimension them based on dimensions that I've got. Okay, so I start off quite sketchy. So I'll put in all the walls where I want them, and then I'll precise. I'll use some of the tools to help me create the precise locations of all the walls. It's just a lot faster to model like that. Okay, so that's the way I'll show you. So make sure you're on ground floor to start with. Okay, so for this one, I will be using the wall tool. So if I click on wall, now we need to change properties because we're going to create an internal wall. So our type of wall will be an internal, say 100, concept 100. We want our height to go up to first floor, so yeah, that's set. But it should be set by default, but if it's not, make sure it's set to first floor. It doesn't matter for location line because we're going to be just drawing them freely, and then we're going to adjust them. So I'm not really worried about that just now. I'll just check my properties. So location line center, base, no offsets, that's fine. Usually sometimes watch out for the offsets, because sometimes when you draw and you can't see the wall, it's because there's an offset somewhere and it's either above or below where you're viewing your plan. So that sometimes causes errors, or students can't see where the actual wall is, or the drawing but no wall appears. It's probably because there's an offset somewhere. Okay, so make sure the base offset and top offset is set to 0. Okay, so I'm using my plan that I've given you, so I'm just going to start drawing. So again, you can start anywhere to start drawing. I'm going to look at the plan. So there's a wall here, and then it goes up there, and it goes up there. Okay, once you finish that wall, you can click escape, and then go again. So I'm going again here. Again, make sure you click on the endpoints to make that level with that wall. I'll come down, and then the wall does something like that. Again, I'm not being too precise. I'm just putting some walls in where I need to put them in. And then I think that's it for ground. There's a wall underneath the staircase. I'll leave that off for now. We'll do that in after we put the staircase in, because that's just a cupboard underneath the staircase. Okay, so that's basically the plan of the internal for the ground floor. Okay, now it's not a dimension. Okay, so we know that already. What we need to do now is make it to match our dimensions on the actual floor plan that we've got. So to do that, we can click on all these components and use our temporary dimensions, which is these blue dimensions, to adjust them to match in with our plan. So for example, if I click on this wall, it's telling me the temporary dimension is taken from here to here, but I want the temporary dimension to be taken from here to this wall, because that's what my drawing tells me is 3500. So if I bring that back in here, you can see that there to there is 3500. If I move this back, to change that, if I hold that little circle, so I hold that little circle at the end of that dimension and drag it, so if I hold it and drag it all the way to the top of that wall, it should go blue. You'll see it go blue there, and then click off of it. It means now that internal dimension from that edge of that wall to that edge of that wall is 3305. Now we can select that and type in 3500, enter, and that wall now is 3500 from there to here, which matches in with our plan here. Okay, so we can go through that now and change the other one. So that's that one done. Some of them don't have dimensions, so don't worry about this one. This one doesn't have a dimension, so this one can be however far or near you want it. This wall here is 3.8 meters from here to here. So again, we want to drag this blue line or this blue dot to this wall and change that dimension to 3800. Again, if I go back down here, if I look at this one here, which is this wall here, it tells me on my plan that should be 1535 from this wall. So it should be 1535 from here to here. So I'll drag this little blue dot to here. So that blue dot to that blue dot just now is 1750. So if I click on there and type in 1535, that'll change that. Last one here is this one. So that's telling me from here to here, it should be 1340. Again, I don't need to change it because that's already taking the dimension where it should be. So I can just type in 1340, enter, and that brings it into line. So here we see that is the approximate plan for what we need for, well, not approximate, that is the actual plan that I've created based on that plan there. As I said before, I don't really need to worry about here in terms of how far or how you want to go into the kitchen. It's not really an issue in this one, but as long as these ones are in the right place, that's fine. So I'll let you do that for yourself now. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in some doors, okay, internal doors into this plan. So again, in Revit, so with doors and windows and all these other types of components, they're essentially models, okay? So a door is a model of a door. It's a three-dimensional model. Now what that door does is it will open the opening within the wall, so it'll create a hole in the wall, it'll put a door in, and that's your door, okay? If you move that, it will move the hole, it'll move the door with it. So it's not like you have to create you don't have to create holes for doors. Once you put a door in, it will create the hole within a wall for that door to sit into. Okay, so as I say, some students, what they tend to do, I'll just do this here quickly, they'll draw this and then they'll stop and then they will put that and then think that's a door opening, so they need to put a door in there. Just draw the wall as a wall and then the door tool itself will create that opening for you. So if I go to architecture door, now again here in properties, I've given you a set of doors, so that I've given you a number of doors. Again, later on when we do the advanced tutorials, we will look at how you import different types of doors, how you can go online and get different types of doors from manufacturers as well, who have got BIM libraries and Revit libraries already made for their doors that they specify and manufacture. So here I've got given you a set of doors in double doors, so you can pick and choose which doors you want. I'll just go with a 910 by 2110. Again, nothing else really needs to change in here other than you select the door. Now, if you go into your plan, you can only put a door into a wall. It won't let you put a door into space because it assumes a door has to go into a wall. And therefore it will find a wall to latch onto. Okay, so if you can't see where the door is, it's because you need to actually attach yourself onto or hover over a wall to put it in. A couple other things you can do here. You can use a spacebar to flip things. So spacebar flips the door either side or mirrors the door either side. Again, depending on which side you want the door to go onto, you can hover over each side of the wall. Again, all this stuff can be changed afterwards, so don't worry, you don't have to be that precise just now. You can change them afterwards, which I'll show you in a couple of minutes. So I'm just going to put some doors in just now. So if I put the doors in based on my plan, I'm going to put a door here, and I'm going to put a door here, so I'll flip it around. And then I might pick a smaller door for this door here. And then the front door, again, might put a door here. The front door, I'll put a bigger door, sorry, here. Okay, and then I'll leave the back one for now. I'll just put a window in the back for make it easier for you guys. So here, once you've done the doors, click escape. Now to edit the doors, if you want to go back and edit the doors and location of doors, same thing applies. If you click a door, you can use the temporary dimensions to adjust where your doors go. So if you want it to a specific dimension, you can. If you have a specific set dimension in mind, then you can adjust it using your temporary dimensions. You can also flip and rotate them. So if I, for example, click on that one, these little triangles come up. So this triangle will flip it in that direction, and this will flip it in the other direction. So these two can be used to put your door in the right way that you want it to open. Okay, so that's the door and the opening swing, and that's the door once it's open. So flip it around. You can also change the wall that door afterwards. Okay, so for example, if I've changed my mind and I want a bigger door in here now than what I did before, so if I change that to 150, a bit closer to the wall, I want to make that bigger door now. I don't have to delete that door to change it. If you select that door, you can go to the type selector or project properties panel and type selector. You can change that there, and it will change that door type. So you don't have to delete anything. You can change the properties of any components to other component dimensions or other component types. Okay, so you can change anything depending on what you want. So you don't have to delete doors. All you have to do is change them. So I'll change that back to what I want. Again, same thing here. I think I'm happy with all that. Maybe in this bit, I might want that to be about 200 off the edge. And that is doors. That's how you insert doors into your plan. So next thing we're going to do is add some windows. Okay, same thing as doors. I've simplified the window options to just one type of window that can be adjusted in multiple ways. So if you click on, go back there, architecture window, and then type is just one type there, so don't worry about that. A couple of properties here to make you aware of. The sill height is obviously the sill of the window, the level of the height of the sill, set to 600. Then the height of the window, you can adjust that by clicking on here and adjusting it to where you want it. And then the width of the window as well, you can adjust the width of the window. Again, what I tend to do is I'll put them in first. For this one, I'll put them in, and then I'll probably adjust them based on what I want. If you've got set sizes, you can actually make multiple types of sizes, or if you go to a manufacturer's website, you can actually get the set dimensions based on what they manufacture, in which case all this stuff is just pre-populated, so you don't have to adjust anything. It's made for you to just drop into your model. For here, what I'm going to do is just put some in, so based on my plan. So I've got one in the living room. I might put one in a big one in the back, probably somewhere. Might put one in the toilet or the storeroom there. I might put one here. I'll probably put one here. Okay, so I'll put a couple of windows in. If I zoom in, windows should sit on the outside. So therefore, if it's on the inside, if you use a little flip arrows there to flip them round. Again, you can adjust the size of where they go in terms of on the wall. That's in the center, so that's fine. I can go in and then select that one. I can say that I want my width to be 1400, and that will change. You don't have to click apply. You can click apply, or you just so I'll do that again. So I'll do that a bit quickly. So I'll go back to 800. You can click apply, and that will change it. Okay. Alternatively, if I get 1400 and then hover my mouse away from that properties panel, it will apply it as well. Okay. So you don't have to click anything. Just take your mouse off of that, and it will apply that change onto that component. Same thing. I'll go here, and I want to change this one to width of 1000. Enter, and then it'll hover. Take your mouse off of it, and it'll adjust it. I might take it off the edge by 600. Again, you can choose where you want to put windows. You don't have to follow my one. You can pick and choose where you want windows and that for this house, and the doors as well. To be honest with you can pick and choose the doors if you want to kind of have a play about with different plans. So I'll pick that 600, and then I'll make this window, flip it on the other side, and then I'll make this window 1200. Sorry, 1200. Like that. Enter. Okay, so that's my windows. So I go back to my 3D, and this one I'll probably make a slightly smaller. There's a little downstairs bathroom or toilet, sorry, 400. And then you can use your arrow keys on your keyboard to adjust small increments. So you can actually, I'm using my arrow keys on my keyboard to adjust it, so you don't have to move it manually, or you can move it manually. So that's moving it manually. These ones do have these little arrows to adjust them as well. Not all tools have not all windows have this tool to make them wider than that. Usually they're fixed components, so that's why I'm not really kind of encouraging that just now. But you can use those little tabs as well. Again, I'll flip that to the outside. Okay, so I think that I'm happy with that. So if I go to my 3D now, you see here, this is what we've created so far. So we've got the doors, so there's all the doors. We have the external door and the windows. That's all the windows coming in. Don't worry, the fact that your door is hovering, because a lot of students get concerned about that. It's because remember we actually created the foundation walls below the ground floor. So this is all foundation below ground. Later on, we will put some ground, or we will put a level for the ground on the model. Okay, so don't worry, the fact that it's hovering, that should be what it should be doing. Okay, so yeah, that's our ground floor in terms of windows and doors and setting up the ground floor walls. Okay, make sure you save it. Before we move on to the next step.